Hello, this is Amy with Paper Moon Journals, and welcome to week 2 of the Merry Makers Christmas Craft collaboration. It's a collaboration between at least a dozen other YouTube channels where we have 4 weeks of projects for Christmas crafting ideas. I hope you'll join me and all of the other channels. If you're looking to add that personal touch to your gift giving, you've come to the right place. In this video, we're going to walk through a whole range of gift tag designs, from super easy and quick ones you can make in just minutes, to some more elaborate eye-catching tags that'll really wow your friends and family. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned crafter, there's something for everyone. So grab your supplies and let's get started creating beautiful custom gift tags that are as unique as your gifts. Let's dive in and make these tags as fun and festive as the presents they go on. Today I'm using my Prima pad, the 25 and Peppermint Christmas pad, and we'll be using up about 1/3 of this pad if you're trying to scrap bust. In the video, we make together 18 tags, which you could use to decorate presents. You could also use them to make little tag books. I decided to go ahead and use my entire paper pad to make tags. I did save a few sheets for some other projects. I got 70 tags, which makes a total of 14 little tag books if you put 5 tags in each book. I'll have that to share with you at the end. What I did was I actually color-coded the tags so that the white ribbon will be for my daughter, the blue ribbon for my husband, and the pink ribbon for me, and to color code the gifts. And then after Christmas, we could actually put rings on them and turn them into tag books. A person could journal on the back of it about the gift or their feelings or about the day or things like that. Use them in a Christmas journal. I like the little tag books. I think they're so sweet. I ended up with 8 tag books and then 30 little tags, or you could make a total of 14 tag books, 70 tags in total. Let's get started. The first and easiest style, the least amount of effort, or if you don't have a lot of time, is the style here, where you take the 8x8 sheet and we're going to cut it into 3 2.5-inch wide tags. I'm using my tag top punch. You can also angle the corners and make angled cornered tags. They look just as nice, every bit as nice. I just love the rounded edge of the tag top punch. So the first thing I need is my paper trimmer, because it allows me to cut and measure at the same time. So I cut the leading strip off the paper first and then cut 2.5 inches. I want that little boy between the boy and the deer here. So if I turn it upside down and cut 2.5 inches, I get 3 really nice looking tags without really doing anything else. So after we cut them into 2.5-inch strips, we'll fold them in half. So they'll be 2.5 inches wide by 4 inches tall. And some of them look all right if you just fold them in half. The other side, like those candy canes, don't necessarily look upside down. So this one I would just fold in half and glue shut. And then the one next to it, those bells will certainly look upside down if we just do it this way. So I fold it in half to find the center, which is certainly 4 inches since this is 8-inch paper. So I also could have just got out my trimmer and trimmed it, but I find that this is easier. I just fold it in half and then cut at the fold mark, and then I'll glue those paired together so that that'll be right side up. And this one with the roses, I think they look fine upside down. So I will just glue this one shut. So this is the base of the first 3 tags that you can make from this style of sheet that is common in the Prima 8x8 Christmas pads. I also have their Peppermint, what is it called? Christmas Market. I have their Christmas Market 8x8 pad. It's also very pastel. It would create things that looked a lot like this. And it has the same 24 pages. It might even make better tags than this one when I was looking it over. So if I wanted to do this mass make project again, I would take my second Prima pad and do the exact same thing with it, make little tag books. So this would be great. I'm using it for gift giving. So I will be giving tag books to my clients at work, and some of my customers in my Etsy shop might get something. We'll see, how far I can get them to go, because I want to give everybody a gift, and I did only make 8 of them. So, so I'll be selecting some. I know one of my clients that's new this year is a coffee shop owner, and one of them has a little cup of coffee on the front, and I feel like she needs that one. The client who referred her to me, I wanted to give her a nice gift. It was an attorney client, and she referred to me her coffee shop owner friend for my services. So that was great. So I wanted to give her a tag book. I wanted to give some to family. So yeah, so I might end up making do another mass make with my other Prima pad and make more tag books. If I wasn't using any on presents, I would have 14 books. So I might pull the bows off. We don't normally get that elaborate with the actually gift tags for our own Christmas gifts. Really just a folded over rectangle of paper, folded into a square, is what we normally do for the Christmas gifts. They're wrapped nicely, but the label is the least, and tag is the least interesting part of the package, normally at Christmas. So yeah, so I might not use those color-coded ones at all, and I might make more of them into little tag books. They're so sweet. You'll see at the end where I have those made. So I wanted to use up my chipboard scraps. I cut them into 1 3/4 inch strips, and then into 2 3/4 inch lengths, which is slightly smaller than the cut aparts, so I can center it on the back and then trim around it. I also used these 4 sheets for the pattern sides I have showing you here that I'll be using for the base of our tags. So we get 3 tags from each of those sheets, which is 12 tags, and then we also got 3 tags from the first sheet that I did. I had 3 from the sample of that sheet already prepared, and then I have also these 8 that I already made as sample projects. I like to make a sample project before I share the tutorial and make sure that I come up with something that's good enough. These ones are 2 different styles. One was a medium level of effort. The other one was a little bit more effort. I feel like when I make the things, I don't want to spend my time or energy or my supplies unless I'm making something I love. I want it to be amazing. I want it to be so good that I'm tempted not to part with it. In this case, I've made so many tag books, I will have no problem. I'll have 1 to keep and many to gift away, which is great. I love that. I can keep a sample of my work and then gift a bunch of them away. If you're doing a craft fair or you also have an Etsy shop, this could be a great project for you. You just sit and mass make your Christmas Prima pad, your 8x8 pad, into tags. Some of the other pads might have cut aparts that work out well. I know specifically the 2 Prima pads that I have small cut aparts that would fit great on these 4-inch by 2.5-inch wide tags. The other thing that adds a really nice look, if you do nothing else, is if you add an eyelet to the top of these. You can see just the decorative papers or the ones that had pretty images on them just look so much nicer with the eyelets in them. And here is a sample of all of the ones that I made, including the few that I had ready in advance. It's a total of 18. I know that for sure. When we're all done, there's 3 rows of 6 that we make in this video, not including the 8 I already had made. And actually, I had made 10, but I've already given out 2 of them as gifts with orders. And here is the simplest style, where we just use the decorative paper, has the image on it. It made really pretty tags. And I would just add some glitter, some trim, and a lace bow and call it a day. These are good. You could go into more detail if you add flat backs. I find that, the more I add, the happier I am. And that's what I want. When I'm finished with my project, I want it to be so cute that sometimes I'm like, wow, I can't believe I made that, because, I'm not perfect. And then sometimes the projects look pretty great when they're all done. And it's very exciting. That's what I want. I want to give somebody, when I give them a gift, I want them to be wowed. And I want to be really proud of what I've given them. And I might enjoy it more than the person who gets the gift because I'm so excited. And I, of course, give them to people who I can tell will like it. If I've given them handmade crafts before and they were really delighted with it, then obviously they're going to be high on my list to receive another handmade gift. Since I know that they enjoyed it, it's worth all the effort. It really doesn't take that much more to go past the glitter. Why stop here is what I'm saying. You could stop here, but why? It's just a couple minutes more to take them from okay to amazing. Because these are okay. They're nice little tags. There's not anything in my mind that separates them from something that comes at the store. Something store-made or machine-made. They just don't have the same appeal that the layered ones that we'll make are. And of course, they could have more layers. They could be more intricate than what I'm showing here. This is great for a mass make project. I spent half a day on 2 different days, working on them. And if you just work on them in little batches in the evenings, it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Once you get to this point, of course, then it's when the most fun happens. But they are so cute. Just look at them right there. You could stop here if you wanted, if your time doesn't permit more than this. Or maybe you just don't have the materials or supplies. Time, materials, you could have some other limitations. They look great, the little ones that we did. And adding the eyelet just finishes them off, makes them look so polished. I love using up my scraps, and my chipboard scraps had been getting unwieldy. I was thinking I might have to recycle some because it was just getting to be too much, and I love the feel. You could use foam tape. I did make some using some foam tape when I'd used up quite a bit of my chipboard scraps. But I like the weight and the feel of the tags with the chipboard in the layer. And when you're doing several at a time, the way I like to do here is you can kind of try them out on each different background and see which background you like best for the piece that you have. These pieces here were ones I had pre-prepared. I had that first piece, of course, you could see me glue down onto chipboard. I'm going to add some Stickles glitter so we can get the glitter drying while we're working on the rest of our tags. And then down in the bottom of the screen, you can see I have 4 pieces that have already been prepared with glitter. They've been added to chipboard. They were left over from when I was making the sample projects. So we have 5 of the tags left, and I think I'll just pick out which ones look nice on which background. Any would look nice on any background. Since all of these are from the same paper collection, they're made to coordinate, and they look so cute. And again, I really like how it feels. It feels nice in your hand. It's heavy. It makes a nice smacking sound when you lay it down on the table or when you put it into a tag book. That extra thickness, it just gives it a quality feel, and that's what I want. I want my things to feel like quality. I don't want it to be something that looks like you could just buy a bag of tags at the dollar store. Because when I put, it's not that much time or energy or effort, but I did. I put 8 hours in on this project, and I want it to look amazing. I don't want it to just look okay. And sure, I could have probably done it in half the time, but I can't stop until I love it. I've said that before. If you've watched my videos, that's my best advice, is just don't stop until you love it. Figure out what you don't like about it and change it. Maybe it just needs more. For Christmas, more is more. If you don't have these trims that I'm using, you can cut them on your die cutting machine if you have them. They're actually Dresden trim that I buy from an Etsy shop online. But it can be a little bit expensive to get stocked up on it. So another more affordable option is Rick Rack. Rickrack is very affordable. You can get it in gold and silver, and that's what I did before I had the Dresden trim. This is also a great project to use up your lace scraps. If you have tiny little pieces, 2 inches is just about perfect. And a lot of times you'll end up with scraps of lace that are 2 to 4 inches long that seem like maybe they're not good for anything. And these little ATC size tags, I think, are pretty good. They're not quite ATC because of the bump on the top. You know, they're really 4 inches tall. They just don't look like it. So flat packs. Here's another thing that can be added that adds a lot of polish and finesse to your project. It gives us a lot of wow, good bang for our buck. If you watched my last project, you'll see that I used them on those for Christmas. I like mixing the gold and the silver. Each one of these collections came with 2 of the 8-sided containers. And it's like $7 or $8. It came with the wax tool to apply them. It's great to have, and it's super affordable. But if you don't have those, maybe Amazon isn't easy or available or affordable for you. If there's a Dollar Tree nearby, they have glittery gem stickers and things like that. And that's what I used before I had the flatbacks for years. Only for the last year or so have I had maybe year, have I had these flatbacks. I got them in gold, silver, black, pearl. I got them in a variety of colors, and then often tend to just use the ones I have out and forget I have all the other colors. But these gold and silver are perfect for Christmas. And doing the few of these tags at a time, I find really takes the pressure off. If I just sat and made one tag at a time, I don't know, it just feels like too much pressure. And this way I can go back and forth if I want, working on them, go, wait, actually that Christmas tree would look great with some little flat back ornaments. And then, maybe one doesn't have as much lace as some of the others. So just kind of comparing and contrasting them while they're together to make sure that all 5 come out adorable. Because this is how I made them when I was making the little tag books. I would get actually 10 tags out at a time and then sit and decorate them like I'm doing here with you. Adding the little flat backs. I find it's easier to add the little dot of glue where I'm going to have the embellishment and then poke the embellishment into it. And for the Christmas tree, I want them to look like little Christmas tree ornaments. And I've done a mixture of gold and silver ornaments on the tree, which I think looks nice. Later, I come up with the idea of adding a ball to Rudolph's nose, which looks cute, the little flat back on his nose. Sometimes the decoration will invite it. If there's buttons on something, that's a great place to add a flat back. Maybe the ball on the end of Santa's hat could be a great place for a flat back. Once you get started using them, you'll just get more and more ideas of ways that you can use them in your projects. But it's quite affordable. This will definitely be maybe 3-year supply of the flatbacks, and that's of the colors I use the most. Of course, the black and the pearl I haven't used as often, and so that might be a 5 or 6 year supply. That is a lot of usefulness for a really affordable supply. And it just adds a great finish to the ones that we just added glitter to. If we did just glitter and then added some flat packs to those, that would level them up a little more. Now that I have these ready for the glue and glitter to dry, we can push those off to one side and keep going. That's the other part that's fun about doing a mass make, is that the glitter is dry on the early ones by the time you're done with the last ones. Have you done a mass make before? Are you familiar with the term? It's just where you sit down and you make a whole bunch of something, a whole bunch of a supply, often with no specific intention. But I have plans for this, and it comes out really cute. So this card of pink lace is some lace that I bought from AliExpress. I usually get my carded lace from Amazon, my variety pack of crocheted lace. There's a bunch on my Amazon affiliate links of the different lace packs that I've ordered from Amazon. But over the summer, I decided to give AliExpress crocheted lace. It looks like the same kind of thing that I'm getting from Amazon. It just isn't as expensive. So I got a nice variety, and then I wound it all up on this card, which is a great way to use it when I'm crafting. I'm just using my art glitter glue to glue this down. You could also use fabric glue, although it's not necessary. Elmer's glue wouldn't work as well. And I haven't tried tacky glue. So tacky glue might work if you were more patient. I don't like to wait for things to dry, really. I just keep going. So sometimes the glue's still wet and visibly wet when I'm filming a share video of a project, because I couldn't even wait for the glue to dry before I wanted to share the project. So the art glitter glue really helps me out there. I don't have many things falling off or shifting because I didn't wait long enough for the glue to dry. So let's find another cut apart. Get some more tags ready for our mass make. I hope you find this entertaining. You're enjoying this. Let me know if you like this longer style of video where I don't speed things up or cut as much out. Yeah, see, this one was a little bit shorter, so I just trimmed off the excess chipboard. I think because of the way I cut the leading edge off. Some of the ones where I cut that off are maybe a little bit shorter than some of the other ones. But from the back side, it's a lot easier to see if it's centered and to cut off the excess. As I said before, you could also use foam tape if you have it. And that foam tape doesn't have to be an expensive crafting supply. It's actually a material that's used to help seal windows and doors, at least in the United States. And you can get a giant roll of it super cheap from the hardware store for like, $4 or $5, maybe a lifetime supply. I don't think I'll ever run out of foam tape. And I tend to prefer the chipboard. That extra weight that it adds to the project does give it a quality feel. I had misplaced my corner chomper, which is a tool that allows you to cut through thick paper and chipboard. I would have chomped and rounded the corner on some of these projects if I had known where that was. I cleaned up after one of my projects and cleaned it up in with the papers. And so it wasn't until I got back to that thing of papers that I saw my corner chomper in there. And then I just use the smaller glue dispenser so that I don't go through my glue as fast. If I use the Art Glitter Glue brand dispenser, I go through it too quickly. I did get a great tip from Debbie at Project 39 Mini Albums about her glue dispensers, that she soaks her tips in hot water to get them all cleaned out and everything. It seems so obvious after she pointed out, but I just pulled the clogged metal tip off and use it without the metal tip is how I've been doing it. But I just thought that was great. It's water-based glue. Why wouldn't that work? Again, it just seemed so obvious. I don't know why I didn't think of that. But we are continuing along, getting these done. It's only going to be less than a 40-minute video, and we'll get all of these done, and that includes the wrap-up at the end, where I show all the little tag books that I made. And again, the different gift tags and things that you can do with them, how you could make a tag book out of them if you wanted after Christmas. I'm continuing to decorate the little tags with the lace, glitter, flat pack embellishments, and some of that Dresden trim, which does add such a nice look to the projects. I think it makes everything look more expensive. And I know when I sell stuff in my Etsy shop, like if I was going to sell the tag book, because I like to have free shipping and include the shipping, which is not free, I have to add that into the price. So I would probably bundle a few tag books together to make it worth it. I want people, when they get the stuff, to have it be a good value, I wouldn't feel right just selling one little tag book for $45 because the shipping is $20 or something. So I would bundle a few tag books together so that then when I lump that $20 onto my sales price, actually more like $25, because I need to cover the listing and sales fees and the shipping costs to whatever it is. And I give out discounts. I get a lot of repeat customers, and they get a 10% off thank you coupon that has been good forever and ever. Shop there once, have a 10% coupon for life. And so I also have to keep that in mind when I'm pricing stuff, because I want to make sure that I don't lose money after it's discounted and I pay for shipping. That would be painful. It's really thanks to all of the people who buy at my Etsy shop. I've said it before. I know I'll say it again. Thank you so much to everyone who's patronized my Etsy shop, that it helps me to buy all of these cool materials and supplies. And that's why if you went back to my older videos, you'll see I don't have all of this stuff. I didn't have a scoring board. I didn't have a crop-a-dial or an eyelet setting tool. I didn't have as much lace. I didn't have any of the charms that I add to the little tag books to help make them fun and exciting. I didn't know if some people might like some tips on making for Etsy and craft fair ideas, things like that. These would, of course, be better for craft fair sales because you wouldn't have the shipping, of course. You can make them affordable. You could sell the little tag books, depending on how you felt, anywhere, I would think, from $18.50 to $32.50. I was thinking $32.50 just because each little book, when I did the math, was going to cost at least $3 worth of materials. And then, of course, the time spent making the little books. There's no way I spent less than an hour on one of the little books. So, or if I did, yay me. So an hour of labor, and then at least $3 for materials. You could also just put 4 tags in each one of the books. I did that with 2 of the books just because I had given away 2 of the tags, so I couldn't make them an even 5 every book. Because I'd used up a couple of the tags, and the books with only 4 tags look nice. So if you wanted to keep the cost down, you could, of course, get more books out of your pad of paper, and then, and then be more competitively priced. But for me, I think that when people buy art, it's an emotional decision. It's not a logical decision. And so I want my stuff to give people, hopefully, my goal is that they have that emotional reaction that, oh my gosh, that's so pretty, that makes them want to have it. They want to have it. They want to own it. They do not want to risk missing out on it and not getting it. And they just buy it. And so I think that helps my desire to make everything so great that I love it and I don't want to part with it. That's my goal, is that I like it so well. If I had the time and space and it was practical, I'd just keep them all myself. But then I wouldn't. What a shame, just to have tubs and tubs full of my stuff sitting around and not share it with anyone. I do have a couple tubs full of my stuff that I've saved. I do like to keep samples of my work. It was interesting. I think it was last year, I went through my tub of all the ones I'd saved that were just so good I couldn't possibly part with them, I thought at the time. And of the 30 journals I had in there was only 3 that I now deemed were worthy of keeping. And then some of them I refurbished, I revamped them. I did a video where I took one of the videos and I took it from sad to glad or something like that. But here I am in the video, adding the little flat packs to the buttons on the snowman's coat, which is so adorable. Just adding the shiny little buttons to the snowman makes the snowman one of the cutest ones now. And then we're going to work on making her, because this cute little girl is adorable in her little Christmas outfit and everything. So she should be one of the cutest ones, for sure. Sometimes if you add the lace to the back, it can add a slightly different look. And then, of course, if you are making a tag book later, if you're going to be making a tag book with these, I like to layer the lace so that the lace is different lengths, which you'll see when we get to the end. Just a couple of them will have lace stripping down, and then the one with the longest lace in the back, and of course one with no lace dripping in the front. But yeah, making tag books with these was so satisfying. I'd started making the tag books with 10 tags each. It, of course, didn't make as many books. And they looked nice, but I just thought, wow, I want more. I need to give them as gifts. I wonder how they'd look in 5. And then the rings, I had gotten rings from the Dollar Tree, binder rings. And they're smaller size than the ones I had. And they were perfect for the 5 tag books. And the ones that I had were a good size for the 10 tag books. So I took my books apart and separated them into books of 5 tags each, and then a couple that only had 4 tags. They look just as nice. We are really getting down to the end here. This is our last 3 tags to finish getting our 18 done. And because I had some cut-aparts prepared in advance, we can just pick our favorites from the cut-aparts left to finish this. Of course, when I finish using up the pad, they'll all get used. And I still have enough chipboard pieces left as well. So I just hold it up and measure how much excess chipboard needs cut off, glue it down, trim the edges, just like we did with the other ones. I hope that somebody makes these and lets me know. I'd love it if somebody does this project and tags me in it. I wanted to make it, I always say easy. I think maybe I've been doing this too long. Maybe what I think is easy isn't easy. But I felt like this was a pretty easy project. If you have yourself a tag top punch, some sort of an eyelet setting tool, and some trims and embellishments in this pad of paper, you're good to go. You don't have to have all the same things I do. Anything with some golden glitter or gold or silver sparkle will be great. A lot of the stuff can be got from the Dollar Tree as well, making it affordable. A lot of my crocheted lace and stuff that I use is from the dollar store. Not this time, but one of the things that's nice about the Dollar Tree crocheted lace is it's really thin, which makes it nice for work on the journals. It's not as bulky and thick as some of the crocheted lace that's intended for clothing. I hope you'll check out the videos by all of the other collaborators. Was it made by Carly Rose? It was her video from the first week of this Christmas collaboration, where she was trying to use up a whole pad. And I thought, wow, what an opposite idea of how I do things. I usually buy my papers, hoard them, and then am loath to use them at all and just have, this huge collection of paper. And then when I do use it, I try to scrimp and save my paper. I'll use solid colored and pattern papers to make the other papers go farther. Like scrimping, saving, making it last was kind of my attitude toward the paper. And so it was fun to have that total turn of attitude. Let's use the whole pad, though. I thought, how many of these could I make if I just kept making them and finished the whole pad of paper? And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. And it was neat to just sit and use up the whole pad all at once. It's gone. I used the cover and everything. There's the few pages left that had the numbers on it that I'd like to save to use on Advent projects. I'd like to do some more Advent boxes next year. I don't know if you saw that video on my channel, but it's like an Advent calendar, but there's no calendar to it. Just there's 25 marked presents. They're all wrapped in 25 individually decorated tags, which are also part of the gift. And then they're marked with each day that you're supposed to open the gift. And it starts with like a journal cover. It doesn't require any sewing. It includes tools and supplies and materials, as well as completely finished projects. Because again, I had to tack on shipping and fees and think, well, they might have a discount coupon when I was working into the price on that. And then I thought, wow, it's just going to be expensive. It takes me almost 2 weeks to make, and or at least 2 weeks to make. And so it's not going to be cheap, and I wanted to add a lot of value. So I include a complete made journal, that I would sell for $135 in my Etsy shop, or more, at least $135 for Christmas Day, to make sure Christmas Day is amazing. And then periodically I have like an entire folio or a trifold or a pop-up card in a box envelope, or, so a few of the days are like super exciting. And then some of the other days are just like tags and maybe a jar of Stickles glitter, or a bunch of envelopes with cut aparts, with fussy cuts in them and things like that. But anyways, I have a video on that. You can go watch that. I want to do that again next year. I want to get started over the summer this time instead of in November, and try to get 3 or 4 of those Advent boxes ready in a couple different styles instead of just the pastel Christmas. But here in our video today, we have mass made together 16 of or 18 of those little tags. And here we are now at the wrap up. So this is the other pad of paper that I have, and the few sheets that I set aside. So you could actually, of course, make even more tags if you used those sheets. But I saved those for other projects. And here's the 8 tag books that we made. Again, if you do the more is more, invest just a little bit more time and adding extra embellishments to every one, raising them up on chipboard or with foam tape. I did add a little charm to the front of each one, an enameled charm. Again, I wanted to add more value to these. It's got the Surrey silk ribbon tie. Oh, getting off camera there a little. They're all similar. And then here's the gift tags that I was explaining that we could use. So the ones for my husband are kind of the kind of tags I make for people who don't care, and we'll throw them out. So those ones don't really have glitter or anything. They're super low level. And then for my daughter and myself, there's a variety of the super decorated ones that would make great little tag books, and some of the more simple ones that just have some flat backs and glitter, which do look great in the tag books between the more elaborate tags. And so here's how we would do it. Again, I would have the pink bows on mine and so forth. So we would just know by what bow was taped onto the package, whose package was who. So that's an idea. And then make them into tag books after Christmas. I think already that I'll probably just save the simple ones for use as Christmas gift package tags, and the rest of them I'll make into tag books. I want to give as many of these tag books out as gifts as I can, and of course, I think I can get up to 10. I think I can get 2 more tag books out. Then I'll have 10 tag books I can gift out to friends, family, clients. I just might end up using that other book and make a whole bunch more, make 10 more of these, or 14 more. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll check out all the videos and the other collaborators. There's a playlist that you can click on and just click play all and watch them while you're crafting, which is what I like to do. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.